Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Blacephalon in the Ultra League. This is a pretty interesting Pokemon here, not necessarily built for the Ultra League whatsoever, but we're going to be using it and it actually does fairly well. So it can't take a hit whatsoever. It's very squishy, but it hits hard. It is going to be winning CMP over all the meta, I'm pretty sure, for the Ultra League here. It even wins CMP over Mewtwo. So that just, I do believe its attack is 306 or something like that. And that is beating Mewtwo by about 6 points. So pretty incredible. Now we're going to be going with Incinerate, Mystical Fire, and Shadow Ball. And it really did put in the work here. But I am going to leave it in a few battles so you can see for yourself. Say you save your shields for the end and you're using it, right? Okay, I'm going to wait for the last Pokemon. Of course, if it's something super effective, then you can just, kiss your butt goodbye because you're going to go down that quick. But say if it's something you resist, like, I don't know, fire, you could still go down even if you have 2 shields, okay? And they have shields too because you're just that squishy. All right, but with that out of the way, I enjoyed it a lot better than Naganadel, that is for sure. Okay, Naganadel can take a hit, but this is even worse. But at least this thing is hitting extremely hard, and that's what's going for it and winning CMP basically every time. All right, let's get into the commentary here. We're going to be using Feraligatr Shadow as well as Giratina the whole time alongside it. So we're met with a Muck, okay. And this is fine. Shadow Claw is not very effective, but Hydro Cannon, Shadow Feraligatr is a must to have on your team. If you haven't made one yet, maybe you want to find one of those Totodiles and start saving those. All right, so they're going to be swapping into the Venusaur. We're going to go ahead and bring in Giratina. Now, was this a massive mistake on my end? Slightly, but we're just going to have to work with it. I should have brought in Blacephalon, of course, but don't worry, you're going to have your Blacephalon versus Venusaur moment actually quite a few times throughout this video, so just sit back, relax, and I got you. All right, but again, it's still going to be not bad because they are actually going to be giving up both of their shields here with that Venusaur. Sounds good to me. So one more Frenzy Plant will pretty much do it, but I actually get to the Dragon Claw before they get to the next one. But they do swap and preserve that Venusaur with energy on it, but not before I Dragon Breath down that Muck that they did swap back into here. And we're going to go ahead and throw a Dragon Claw on that Swampert and then swap into the Blacephalon itself here. So since they are shieldless, what we're going to have to do is just double shield these Hydro Cannons and just take a look at the Mud Shot. Just a couple of Mud Shots and we're already down this much health. That's pretty bad. I know it's super effective, but damn. All right, so Venusaur's already finished. It's already been knocked out. I just need to shield this up and it goes. Now, if you're thinking, why did you shield that up? I don't know. I'm just a little nervous about this damn thing taking hits from anything. All right, anyways, next fight, we do have the Greninja. All right, should I say next battle? We're going to just throw the Hydro Cannon. We're going to stay right where we're at. It's not like we have something that's going to be great up against it in the back. Giratina with Dragon Breath is fine, but obviously Blacephalon is going to really suffer in that situation there. Although if we can land a Shadow Ball, I think that'll still do about 60% of Greninja's health. Maybe a little bit less, but it's going to do quite a bit, maybe like 50%. All right, so we have a Giratina versus Giratina and Shiny at that for both of them. All right, let's go. Can't wait till this thing comes out as a Shadow. Oh my goodness. Talk about this or Giratina Origin. It's going to be incredible. And that's what I'm saving my candies for, okay? So if you're actually watching this video and I've been holding out, that is what I'm saving my Giratina XL candies for, and that's why I don't make a normal XL one in the Master League. So here's your example here. Okay, we were saving both of our shields. We had full health, basically. And we're just taking so much damage from a not very effective Incinerate from Skeledirge here. And it's a little disappointing, but I didn't even get mad. I was like, okay, well, that's actually a pretty good example for all of you to see there. So there you go. Take note of that. Don't try to save your... I mean, you could save your shields for the end. It could be like a fairy or something like that. But, yeah, noted. Next game, we're going to be met with a Shadow Empoleon. All right, we'll take it. And it does have Waterfall. I personally like running that too, honestly. Okay, that's just me. Although its new Steel Wing is pretty amazing. We're going to go ahead and let this Drill Peck go here, doing a decent amount. And we do resist the quick move, so we should be able to get to this Hydro Cannon. Yes, we do. Very good. And they are shielding it up using their shield. Sounds good. Bringing in the Giratina to take them out before they can even throw anything, and now they're down to shield. And bringing in Poliwrath, definitely going to be going for that Dragon Claw here And I do believe we're going to let that Ice Punch go as well. And I'm kind of playing this Blacephalon where I'm kind of like trying to save these shields toward the end here to really make it work, you know, just give it the spotlight, all right, like the clown it is. Okay. It's so weird. What is this thing? I know it's an alien or something, but just crazy that they designed something like this to me. It just seems really out of place, but here we are, right? So we are getting both shields. Sounds good, and we'll let this go as well. You need a shield for it. Okay, let's just be clear on that. So we do have a Cresselia. Okay, this is actually something we would want to see. So we'll let this go. Look at that Grass Knot. Doesn't even get stabbed. Cresselia's attack's not even great. The Grass Knot move itself is good, but we resist that and it still did that much damage. Incredible. Shadow Ball takes it out and we take the win. Very good. And whenever it does put in work, it's actually very satisfying. It's funny to see it out here in action, right? I'm sure people are like, oh my gosh, you're actually using that squishy thing. So we swap into it to start building up our energy here. And the way it attacks is hilarious. Sometimes it'll roll its head around. What do you call those things? It's a little, you know, yeah, I forgot what you call those, but he rolls his head around that. So silly. So we take out the Gengar pretty much with the Mystical Fire. Okay, sounds good. I really wish there was an animation for it that kind of made its head do the firework exploding thing, but yeah, you can't always get what you want, right? Up against that Skeledirge, saving it for my Feraligatr. Let's see what we have going on here. Gonna shield this up no matter what. And getting to the Hydro Cannon, and I do believe they'll just let this go here. Oh, they back out. That was what it was. All right, good game there. All right. Some games, this Blacephalon might not even do anything. I do believe there's like one game where it doesn't even show up. I don't even know why I included that. All right, we have I guess you could say this is a pretty decent matchup since we do have Crunch here. Going straight for it. They're shielding it up, but getting the defense drop. I'm going to let this Grass Knot go. It's going to hurt, but we're going to be okay. We'll be able to outpace them to the next Crunch, and this is going to do quite a bit as well. It's not going to quite KO them, but sure is going to do quite a bit. Now, what we can do is let this go and then just start building up energy with the Blacephalon. I do believe that's what we're going to... Okay, yeah. I mean, once this thing starts building up that energy, things are going to have to start shielding, even if you resist it, because the attack is just so intense. So going for the Shadow Ball up against Swampert, basically one-shotting, bringing in the Giratina. I mean, this thing just hits like a monster, okay? That's why it's going to be good as a Fire-type attacker for raids. Now, it is going to go down very quick, you know, the TDO, total damage output, but if you have a 100, I don't see why not, or a 98, or something close to that, or if you like this Pokemon, it has something going on, at least. And what is this out here? What do we have going on? An Obstagoon. Okay, we're looking great. As far as we can resist this counter here on our Pokemon, we're fine. So yeah, I know this was meant to look like a swap. I just kind of wanted him to get more action, so I just threw it into the battle here. I know Giratina could have finished this off really quick, but there you go. All right, next game. What are we going to see here? Celerouge. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So another Ghost and Fire type when we have ours in the back. Yeah, I've used... I think that thing is not even as squishy as... Yeah, definitely not. So they swap into their Tapu Fin. We're staying right where we're at, okay? The Hydro Cannon still do a ton. I mean, it's incredible. That's because Shadow Feraligatr just doesn't screw around here, as you can see. Plus the accumulation of the Shadow Claw. It just does so much damage. All right, our defense is down, but that's okay. We get to the next Hydro Cannon, which will KO this Tapu Fin here if they let it go. And they do not want to use that last shield. They have a Glissopod in the back, so I'm just going to go ahead and bring in the old trusty cheat code Giratina here to handle the situation and save the Blacephalon for later, because this isn't a matchup we don't want to be in with all that Shadow Claw and water nonsense, right? Even with that X-Scissor. I bet you even that will do a ton of damage to this little thing. It freaking can't even take a hit, so frail. All right, so we go for the Dragon Claw, of course, and they get to the... Do you believe this is like X-Scissor and I survive? Okay, yeah. They swap, and I immediately swap too. Look at the damage the Incinerate's coming from that thing. It's just like almost like the Skeledirge, except for this one has higher attack, so, you know, more. We get to the Shadow Ball, and they have no more shield, so it's going to be taken down here. And then down goes the Glissopod. See, it's pretty much like that. I just kind of have to wait. Or if they swap immediately and lock themselves in with like a grass or a fairy or something like that, or whatever I'm good up against at the moment there, that Blacephalon can handle, then we will go ahead and go with it. I know I didn't bring it in for the Venusaur. That was an accident. You're going to see it, don't worry. Still have plenty of time here. Still have 13 minutes left, or 10 minutes left. So we are up against a Poliwrath. I don't mind this battle, except for that was kind of bad. That was a lot of farm, but we're just going to have to make do with it. It's better to just go down with the ship instead of locking yourself in there. I could have shielded, but not really worth it. I'd rather play it like this and be up a shield. So they're going to swap, and here's the thing. They lowered my attack, so that's not going to do jack crap. But at least a Shadow Ball will one-shot at this point here. So do they want to let it go? Or I think they shielded up, and I just back out. Okay, yeah, it's wrap at that point. If you're wondering why'd you do that, because I mean, I know I had 2 shields, but essentially that thing's going to go down even by counters. Okay, so that's why I had to back out. Next game, we got another Poliwrath here. This time it is going to be Shadow. So, oh no, it's not Shadow. Okay, regular. I thought it was for mine. We're going to let this go like we usually do. Scold, doing quite a bit of damage. Okay, not great. And there's your lock-in with Blacephalon up against Venusaur. So it's 1 Incinerate, 2 Incinerates. The damage just hasn't landed yet. And 3, 4. Man, it just needed like, man, a couple more H or attack in those IVs, and I think you can KO Venusaur with 3 Incinerates. All right, so there you go. Pretty crazy, right? And I kind of screwed up that last one. I should have went for a Shadow Ball, but whatever. Okay, so I bring in Giratina, which is going to kind of help me now, because now I can actually farm him up a bit for whatever's in the back, and we're only using our first shield, and it is going to be a Charizard. Now, I should have swapped immediately. I don't know why. I thought I might get a shield here because, you know, ancient power. But they let it go. That you hear that snoring, that's Athena snoring over her bed. Okay. So we swap here, and of course, we get to her charge move, but they are going to get to theirs. We're going to let it go and let this go again because they had 2. And we'll take the win here with just a couple of Dragon Breaths, and there we go. Oh wait, that Poliwrath, and we get to the Dragon Claw and take that one. I was like, what the heck, did I not edit this one right? All right, and then we take the win there. All right, looking good. Next game. Now, I do believe we're going to start encountering a bunch of Venusaur swap-ins, so that's going to be really nice. But we do have a horrible lead up against... oh, wow, there you go. That's how it works. All right, so we'll just go ahead and back out there. Why not put up a fight? It's over. It's pretty much a wrap there. I mean, I maybe could have made it work, but nah. We have a Chandelure. This is obviously great. There's that Venusaur. So it's like you either get screwed or it's either really easy. It's oh man, just make it random already. Doing a lot of damage with the Frenzy Plant. There you go. So we're going to hit the Mystical Fire. I think we're already KO'd. They snuck a Shadow Claw through. Yeah, well, that's a wrap, boys. Okay. Yo, this thing cannot take a hit. All right. So that's fine. It's all good. Let's see here. We'll let that go. Calling a Hydro Cannon. I think they didn't like that, and we take the win. All right, sweet. Sounds good. So yeah, that's just the way it goes. Sometimes you just get hard countered. Sometimes they do. I really don't like it. You know, just so I want a neutral game. All right, next game we're up against Caesar here. This is a good matchup for us here because of the Bullet Punch. We do resist that. I completely keep spacing out the fact that this thing can learn freaking Trailblaze. So yeah, that's what's going to happen here. All right, Trailblaze. Keep forgetting about that, but that's all right. Getting off another Hydro Cannon, though. And taking both of their shields. Oh my goodness, did you see how much 1 Incinerate did to that Caesar? That's incredible. We're going to shield this up because, yep, Night Slashes. We just don't want to get hit by that. That's going to take us out with the attack raise, I'm sure, with that. Shadow Ball, we've seen how much this does. Pretty much one shot, swapping into Giratina. And they do have a Typhlosion in the back. And when this team gets it pretty good. I know that's getting some decent leads here, but still put it in that work. When it does that damage, it's pretty awesome. That's why I wanted 100. Okay, I'm going to go hard on the raid day. So going for another Dragon Claw, and they back out. We take that win there. We're moving on to the next one. We've got several more still for you. All right, next one, we're going to be met with a Feraligatr itself. Let's get it. And I would typically go for Crunch, but Hydro Cannon, It's like you can fish for the defense drop, but the Hydro Cannon is pretty much doing enough. And with 2 of them, it doesn't really matter. That's all you need to take them out, unless they shield this up, of course. And if we did get the defense drop, I suppose that would help just a little bit, but I'm not trying to gamble that when I can get to a 3rd one. Okay, let's get it. And they shielded up using both of their shields here. Bringing in the Giratina. We're going to let this go. It is going to be an Ice Beam if I recall. That's right. Farming them down, and we still have 2 shields with our Blacephalon. Bringing in the Togekiss. All right, it's time for this thing to shine. All right, it's all up to it. Okay, we're going to go for that Mystical Fire up against that Scrafty because, well, you already know that Dark Resist Ghost. Now, of course, I was expecting a Power Punch. I wouldn't say of course, but I didn't care. I'm not playing any games, so we're just going to shield it up. Doesn't matter. And we will be able to get to another Mystical Fire. Probably should have just tried to go for the Shadow Ball, but I don't think I would have made it because even though we're fire, look, yeah, never mind, we're already down. So we did enough damage, and we'll actually let this go in the Giratina just to flex, just because we can, and take that win. All right. So it actually did a little something there for us at the end. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for it, we would have lost. Next game, we're met with a Swampert. We like this matchup. Oh yeah, we like this matchup a lot. Now we do have Giratina to handle that, but the Feraligatr handles it so much better, especially when you know they're throwing Hydro Cannon. Oh yeah, Chef's Kiss, let's get it. So we can actually let this one go as well. And maybe hopefully cross our fingers for them to use both shields on their Swampert, leaving them wide open for our Blacephalon, as well as taking out their water type here. Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea. So we'll go ahead and shield this up, and then take the win here with the Feraligatr while still holding on to the shield and also winning swap. And they're bringing in their Skeledirge. Something that they're trying to take out right now would be that. So what are we going to counter it with now that they build up a bit of energy? I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Blacephalon. I'm not going to play any games, even if they go for the Disarming Voice. I'm shielding this up. Straight Shadow Ball. We're going to go for ours here. I'm pretty sure they just caught. Oh, Regirock. Okay, very nice. So landing that, still doing quite a freaking bit of damage to it, and bringing in the Giratina to start absorbing everything, as we are playing a shieldless game at this point. So they didn't throw first. Well, they threw first, but I could have went for the Dragon Claw. I just wanted to build up a little bit more energy, so we're ready to go for that last Pokemon that they do have on their team here. And let's go get into the Shadow Sneak. And it's not quite enough. Oh, of course it's going to KO. Our Incinerate's going to take out this Skeledirge here, because that's just simply going to be enough. It just does so much damage with that quick move, and of course the charge moves too. Next game, we're going to be met with a Talonflame. The leads are starting to get a lot better for me, as they were really hard countering me for a while there, and swapping into an Umbreon. So we're going to go ahead and just stay right where we're at. Yeah, because we don't really want to go up against that with the back line. They're both weak to dark, so this is a best case scenario here. And Giratina can handle Talonflame, but they really do start vamping that Talonflame up. You're going to see here in just a minute. So we're going to let this go, as we should be able to get to one more Hydro Cannon. Great. And they will let this go, and they bring in the Talonflame to start farming me up and building up that energy. That's exactly what I would do too. Almost made it to the Hydro Cannon. Unfortunately, we didn't. And we don't really need to worry about Brave Bird, so we can go ahead and let this go. And that's exactly what it is. And we have a Cresselia in the back. All right. So I do believe I shield this first one up here just for good measure. It is a Moonblast. Actually kind of curious as to how much that would have done compared to Grass Knot on the current IV set that I do have, which, by the way, is completely random. I didn't look up the rank for the number that I have. I do not care. When it comes down to these rate catches, I don't care. I'm going to get one. Whatever's the closest to the rank that I need it to be, I power it up. Okay, that's the way I do it. So this Talonflame really is going to start flame charging it up. Yeah, really start to vamp it up here. Now, I kind of need to call this Fly, or it's a Brave Bird, right? Didn't they have Brave Bird? So what we're going to do is call it. That's it. We take the win here. Getting to 2 Dragon Claws, so it goes 1. They get to their charge move, which is fine. We'll go ahead and shield this up. And that is a wrap, as we do get to our last Dragon Claw to take the win. And I do believe we're heading into our last battle here. So let's see what we have going on. Now, I was able to go positive every time I was using this thing. So that's, of course, a great lead here. I went 3-2, 3-2, and then 4-1. So I'm not going to tell you that Blacephalon is going to be really good for you to use. Just give it a shot, I guess. If you're down to try it just to have fun, I suppose, go ahead. What I could suggest you do is if you get a very good IV that you plan on powering up anyway, instead of, you know, powering up one for the Great or the Ultra League and wasting 100,000 Stardust and all those candies for that secondary move or third move, you could power up your best one just for the Ultra League. And then once you're ready, just completely max it out. You know what I mean? That's a good way to save. And what do we have? Oh, a steel type in the back. And oh, here we go. Star of the show. Look at that. Very nice. Able to finish it off at the end here. Up against this Annihilate. Building up a little bit of extra energy. I'm going to go ahead and KO this thing here. Mystical Fire? I don't know if it would have been enough there. But we are going to go for it up against this Registeel as it is super effective here. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to another one. Unfortunately not. That's okay, we did plenty of damage, plus we lowered the defense on that Registeel, so this will be enough to take them out with the Shadow Sneak. And there you have the Blacephalon, folks, in the Ultra League. Actually did pretty good, a lot more impressive than Naganadel personally. Now that leaves one more left, you know what that is. So that's pretty exciting, we'll see how the one does work out. Please give this video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care.
Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!